What's up, otakus? Thanks for joining us here. It's your tour guide, and as always, I picked up some more comic books. As you know, my budget kind of dried out. Didn't have any money, so I was just kind of posted some books on Mercari, which I've been doing. I just haven't shared the shop link. I don't necessarily want to, promote the fact that I'm selling. I'm really just selling to kind of, I'm picking up a lot of books on the cheap, and I think the logic there is if we can sell them, not for their full value, but just get some kind of return on them, and build that over time, we'll be able to collect money and really kind of get books that I want, and continue that process. And we really haven't had many sales. It's been kind of slow. I don't think really haven't sold much, but in the last couple of weeks, I sold some bundles, an X-Men and Superman bundle, and I earned about $20 from those sales, after shipping and everything. $20. So we had $20. Of course, what's the first thing I do as soon as the money comes in? I go to the comic shop. I picked up some stuff from Half Price Books, and I picked up some books from Geek Comics. So shout out to the comic sensei Russ. There's a book that may be coming to that shop soon. It's essentially that book, but it's a newsstand copy. Russ said he has a couple copies of the newsstand in really high grade. He hasn't priced it yet. I imagine he's gonna put a couple in the shop and put a couple up on his Whatnot auction. At this point, I don't think I'll be able to afford it. That book seems to be just skyrocketing right now, and with Batman Spawn, the Capullo McFarlane book coming in December, I believe it's October or December, which is real soon. There's going to be so much hype when that book drops. I can't think of a book right now that the community is waiting on that's bigger, and so that particular copy, if Russ has it for what I think is reasonable, I'll pick it up, but in all likelihood, he's going to try to command what's sort of like a moving target right now. It's just kind of going up and up and up and up as people are scrambling to get a copy of the book. So rather than kind of feed into all that hysteria and hype, it's already. I'm glad I have my copy. I picked mine up for like $1. Which I'm glad I did, because it's not. No one's selling it for that much online. So again, I do want more copies of it, but within reason. But anyway, we just went to Mill Geek. I wanted to dig through the 50-cent bins because I knew with $20 we don't have much, so I just wanted to try and get some bargain books, and then we ended up getting some pretty key books as well. So all in all, I spent $15, and we picked up 13 books, and so we'll go over what we got in just a few. So the first book we picked up is this classic cover. It's Who's Who 22, and it's kind of going over the S characters. Starts with their Starfire 1, Starfire 2. They've even got Starman 1, Starman 2, and they've even got Superman 1 and Superman 2. This came out in December of 1986, so it's a classic Copper Age book. Just a beautiful, so it's a wraparound cover. I will kind of showcase the wraparound. I'll take it out and eventually show it, but
a nice little depiction here of the Swamp Thing here at the bottom. Great John Byrne art there, doing his best Bernie writes. But the real appeal of this book, and again, I only paid 50 cents for this particular book, and for me, that's a steal on a book like this. Great condition. It's around an 8.5. Vibrant cover, just a beautiful Byrne rendition of Superman. For me, the Superman, it's like Neil Adams. So it's like Jim Lee, Neil Adams, and then John Byrne. Those are the three guys who do Superman. So, yeah, just very happy with this pickup. Again, 50 cents. I'll pick this up all day long. Just a beautiful cover. All right, next book we got. This one we paid. It's one of those rare occasions I pick up a modern book. And I generally don't at half-price books because, a lot of these modern books, they're $3 to $5, and so you're paying anywhere from $1.50 to $2.50 for a modern book. Which, I guess if you're a modern age collector, that's still pretty good. But the reason I picked this up is because this is the origin of America Chavez, and so it's quite a substantial book in terms of the price as well. It's like $15. So generally what I do is I try to calculate if I'm going to pay like $1.50, I want it to at least be like kind of 10 in terms of the value of the book. I want it to be at least a multiple of 10. So we paid $1.50. This is a $15 book. That's sort of my calculus for picking up these kinds of modern books. If I'm gonna pay, $2.50 or something like that, it's generally got to be like $15 to $20 in value for it to be like a worthwhile. And that's what we had. That's the situation we had here. So. Really clean book. I would grade it at 9.0 easy. And again, just the origin of America Chavez. This is again a book I'd probably like bundle and sell. I am looking to sell stuff like this because when I pick it up for $1, I'm looking to just sell it for something like 10. Somewhere around 10. So if you want this book, comment in the comment below. Now this next, so I just have two basically in this bag and board. I'm not going to pull it out, so I just pulled two copies. They're in the same bag and board. But this is a hot book. So this is Secret Wars Battle World. It's a hot book because it's Secret Wars, as you know. And this is Battle World is sort of the planet. Now I haven't read this Hickman run, so I can't speak for the Hickman run, but if we're talking about the original old school Copper Age Secret Wars by Jim Shooter, Battle World is where the Beyonder brings like all the superheroes and villains and has them kind of, like a battle royale type situation where the villains and the heroes kind of team up, and they break out into little groups and stuff, and there's just little squabbles here and there, kind of like a Lord of the Flies type situation where they're just battling, and eventually allies, they create alliances and all that. So this book is hot just because of the Secret Wars connection. Secret Wars has been announced. Its release date has been announced. It's sort of the pinnacle of where Phase 6 is going to end or land. So everything Secret Wars is really, really hot right now. and I picked up these 2 copies. This is also the first official story by Donny Cates. Donny Cates' first official work in comic books for Marvel is in this book. So this is just, it's a key book for that reason alone. And then now with all the Secret War spec, this I anticipate will be a hot book, will continue to be a hot book. And the cover here is done by an artist named Chris B. Murray. Again, we got 2 copies, both in really good condition. The other 2 that I left there had some, had some edge wear, some spine ticks, so I didn't pick those up. And I may go back and get those. But for now, again, I just wanted to pick up the really essential stuff that I wanted and leave some of the more non-essential stuff for another trip. So I picked up 2 copies of that for 50 cents each. These were 50 cents each. And then I picked up this one for 50 cents. This is the Initiative, Avengers The Initiative, #1. Great cover by Jim Chung. And just a key book. Great cover there with all the heroes. So normally we don't kind of pick up these kinds of modern books, but again, I think I'm having fun with some of the speculation, especially because I know I'm pretty confident of where the speculation is at this point, and so it's not like I'm going in blind. I'm pretty confident what I picked up in terms of speculation will bring about value. And this book we picked up, this is more of the Secret War spec, and there's some question as to who will be the villain in Secret Wars, and if it's people are just kind of speculating who that villain might be. People are saying it's going to be Doctor Doom. People are saying it's going to be Galactus. Kang is in the mix. There's a variety of people, cosmic sort of villains that you can pick for the multiverse. But I think there's a few good articles that came out in recent days, and the community I think is leaning toward the Beyonder. Now that's complete speculation at this point. Marvel hasn't revealed anything, but if you look at the evidence in comic books and the fact that Beyonder is really he's like a universe, right? He's just sort of this like Q, sort of just cosmic god type entity. And there's a race of these things. There's a race of these Beyonders. When you keep that in mind, basically you have to have somebody who's like all powerful to really ratchet up and build up to that Secret Wars finale. So I think all indications from just I would say a movie planning standpoint would indicate or point to Beyonder. And if that's the case, then this book should be on everybody's spec radar. This is first of all, it's a great cover by Ron Frenz. It's a Doom Beyonder sort of battling there. It's a late 80s book, Fantastic Four 319. Again, Ron Frenz cover. Then this is the origin of the Beyonder. So this is, post Secret Wars 1 and right around Secret Wars, post Secret Wars 2 as well. They bring him back in this issue to go talk about how, how he his origin story, how his race of beings came to be. So very, very happy to pick this up for 50 cents. Again, I kind of was digging and the cover caught my eye, and then I realized, oh wow, this is a book that definitely in this Secret Wars. You know, I'm kind of like have my antenna and feelers out for anything related to Secret Wars, and so this book is definitely in that category. All right, the next book is actually something I actually paid cover price for, which is something I rarely do. It's a modern book, and it's this beautiful, absolutely beautiful cover by Peach Momoko. And if you love Peach Momoko art, you're gonna love this cover right here. This is as good as it gets, and this is why she's just the best modern artist in the game right now. I love Jim Lee. I love all the artists that I mentioned prior, but I'm telling you, man, it's getting hard to argue that she's not the best. I mean, Jim will always be the best for me, and will be my favorite, but definitely Peach is second. Well, Neil Adams as well. I mean, those are legends. So I mean, it's like you can't. It's comparing, like, it's like the NBA. You can't compare legends from different eras. You just gotta accept that they were the best in their day. And right now, it's all about Peach, man. Look at this beautiful black, white, and blood cover. Black, white, and blood cover. That's all that is right there. Three real shades. She's only using really, 3 coarse shades in this painting. Just beautifully done. Now, what makes this book also collectible for Peach Momoko fans is there's an original story that she does where she does the entire story. She inks it, she pencils it, she inks it, she colors it, she writes it, and it's a backstory, a story in here called Assassin, and it's just by her alone. So I don't know if there'll be subsequent stories by her in this Electra run, but that fact alone makes this, and the cover and the fact that she did an original comic story in this, where she does basically does the entire book by herself, makes this really special for me. And Electra, as much as I love Psylocke was based off of Electra, and Electra was the OG ninja badass in comic books. So yeah, absolutely love this. This is becomes like instantly one of my favorite books in the collection. Just so ecstatic. And it's a $5 book. I paid cover price $4.99 at Geek. I think this is their last copy. I've been meaning to get this online, but I know online you have to pay someone else. Oftentimes you have to pay like $10 plus shipping. Sometimes you can get it for like $7 plus shipping. But when you can get a cover and you put in all the gas and whatever by yourself, that's a win. So just so happy to pick this up. Absolutely. Now, okay, the next book is this beautiful cover by Michael Turner. As you all know, this is a book that I've been meaning to pick up. Go back and watch my, top 10 favorite artists. Michael Turner is on that list of my favorite artists whom I collect. And this is the first cover he ever did in comic books. It's a beautiful cover. But it's, again, his first cover. Now, his first work is in Cyberforce. I forget the number, Cyberforce 11 or something like that. That's his first work in comic books. He did some interiors on that book. I got that book as well on a recent haul. And then, yeah, while I was at Mill Geek, I was digging and I found this copy, and it came home with me for 50 cents. First Michael Turner cover. You can't beat that. So, yeah, for those of you Michael Turner fans, you probably know this book already. But if you like Michael Turner and you want to collect more of this stuff, should definitely be on your list of things to pick up. And it's relative. Again, I got this for 50 cents. It's sitting in those Image bargain bins, so just go pick them up. Well worth the investment, especially on when it's beautiful comic art like this. Yeah, so Strike Force number 14, pick that up. Beautiful. The otaku comic haul without some Jim Lee books, and we were able to get 2 Jim Lee books. One is this beautiful Trinity cover. Ignore the price tag, I just changed bags here. This we paid 50 cents for, again at Mill Geek. Picked that out of the long box. 50 cents. They actually had a couple more Trinity ones, all Jim Lee covers. But the other, I'll pick them up when I pick them up. The other 2 covers weren't that great. But this one, Wonder Woman, man, this was just, when I saw it, I was like, boom, you're coming home with me. So had to pick this one up. 50 cents, Wonder Woman, Jim Lee. It doesn't get any better than that. With the invisible gem in the background. What a beautiful cover. One of Jim's best for Wonder Woman. Alright, now, next we have our 4th copy. This is my 4th copy. And, I try to pick these up only if they're like really cheap and if they're really good condition. And this one is like crispy minty condition. And again, for 50 cents, you can't leave this at the comic shop. You got to pick it up. So again, I just picked up this really high grade copy, 50 cents, more Jim Lee goodness to the mix. This is X-Men annual number 1, and it's a classic. Jim Lee does not do the interiors on this, but that cover, that's a classic cover right there. So it's worth owning just because of that cover, and also it's part of the X-Men run. So a lot of people are thinking, Jim Lee, they're done with the run if they collect X-Men 1 through 11. No, technically you have to have this book to complete that run. So it's the 5 covers plus 2 through 11 plus this book. Now, if you want to go real hardcore, you can try to collect all the direct and newsstand editions as well as the Bo Jackson inserts. If you try to micro manage that collection, it gets pretty tedious. But definitely, if you're just doing the serial run, don't forget this book. Next book is something we've been meaning to add to the collection. It's probably one of my favorite Jim Lee covers that he's done, and I've been just waiting for the day because I knew it would someday come into half-price books, or someday come into like a bargain bin, and I'd be able to pick it up, because again, this Jim Lee run of Punisher books is not really highly sought after, and I absolutely have no reason, and no clue why. It's a brilliant run by Jim, but we finally picked it up. Finally picked up the Punisher on a ski jet cover. Punisher War Journal number 9. I love this cover. Why? It speaks for itself. You've got basically the Punisher with what looks to be like an M60 or some kind of huge rifle on a ski jet. Sorry, on a jet ski. He's just riding a jet ski, and I love the fact that it says, "You've just rented a jet ski to the Punisher. Kiss that baby goodbye." So, just this is an absolutely classic cover. I think it's one of the best covers, not only in this, Punisher War Journal run, but just one of Jim Lee's best covers, just because of, it's just such a funny, hilarious, and this issue is actually really quite entertaining. Again, it really is. He gets a jet ski and he's on this adventure, and then he ends up just, going to war with people, explosions, and of course the jet ski does not survive. So, just a great. Love this copy, and it's a really high grade copy. I was really ecstatic about that. So, again, paid 50 cents. Found this at Mill Geek for 50 cents. I would have paid, up to $3 for this if it were if a high grade copy, and that's essentially what we got here. So just absolutely happy with this pickup. Now, the next book we got was, I gotta think, I actually paid $3 for this one at Mill Geek. So Mill Geek has a $3 bargain bin as well. And the $3 bargain bin has older comics, classic comics. So you'll see a lot of Bronze Age, a lot of Copper Age, even some Silver Age scattered throughout. And so we were really lucky to pick this copy up. And what this is Justice League of America 193. This came out in 1981. So technically this is like late Bronze. It's definitely a Bronze Age book. Beautiful cover by George Perez. He does the interiors as well. Jerry Conway wrote the story in this book. But what makes this special, and I gotta give a shout out to Mint Hunter. Mint Hunter Comics, he put this on everybody's radar in a recent video. He was going over books he thought were sort of undervalued, a lot of them being DC. So I think he actually did DC lists. So he said the top undervalued DC books, and he's so insightful because really all the books that he chose were undervalued, but he listed this one as well. Now, since he said that, this has gone up in value, and that's the power of, I think, his platform and his channel. Like, he can influence a lot of people, and definitely I was on the lookout for it. I said, if I run into it, I will pick it up. And this is not the best grade copy. It's not the worst either. In fact, with a clean and a press, I could see this improving to like a 7.5 or 7.0. You've got one sort of major color break increase right there. You've got another non-color break increase right here in the corner. But again, if you press this out, got it really smooth. There's just some rough edges. The corners are obviously kind of rounded. Again, I could see this coming back like a 7.0 with some TLC. In terms of the cover itself, it's vibrant. The spine is intact. It's absolutely solid. It's a solid newsstand copy. I guess the first appearance of the All-Star Squadron. So that makes this a really key book, and I think undervalued. And given DC laying out plans, a 10-year plan, they have to introduce the All-Star Squadron. It's just such a good team to introduce for like movie content and just TV content. So yeah, I just, again, some of the stuff is a little bit of speculation buying on my part, but I'll also, this is just a classic cover key book, something I just want to keep in my collection. I wouldn't want to sell this one. But again, a pretty, I mean, it's not mid, it's definitely like mid to high grade. As is, without a press or anything, this is definitely closer to like, you know, probably a 5.5 or a 6 copy. But again, with the press and some cleaning and some TLC, again, I could see this going up to a 7.0. I did already clean it, and I cleaned the back and the front already, so it looks a lot better than it was looking before. But for $3, key book for $3 from the Bronze Age, I'll take it. I'll take it every single day, especially a great cover like that. Okay, the Justice League, drawn by the legend George Perez. Alright, so here's the last book, and this is like, for me, again, I mentioned before, I didn't pick this up, I'm just showing it to you because this is my direct edition copy of this, and I have my newsstand being graded, or it's waiting to be graded. It's actually waiting to be pressed at CCS, but that I probably won't see until next year. I'm thinking late next year is when we'll get that book back. But again, it's a really clean copy of a newsstand, Secret Wars #1. This is my second copy. This is also a clean copy. I'd put this grade at around a 9.0, maybe 8.5 as well. Their direct edition. It is a little faded compared to my newsstand copy. My newsstand copy is absolutely beautiful. We're hoping that comes back around a 9.4, 9.2. But anyway, it's a hot book. This is a hot book. But the book we got, the final book we got, is, I actually picked it up for $1 at Half Price Books, and it's a funny story, but let me just start by showing you what it is. It's this free comic book. It's Marvel Previews, Secret Wars, and so the preview actually came out in a 2-edition set. The first cover is actually, so the first previews Secret Wars #1 is a preview cover of #1. So basically it reprints the #1 cover prior to it being released. Now the book that precedes this is again Preview Secret Wars #1. That came out in April of 2015, and then April 2015, and then this book came out in May of 2015 as the second preview edition, and then this cover features what would end up being number 4 in the Hickman Secret Wars run. So this is again sort of a preview of Secret Wars #4 many months before it came out. So this is actually the first time we see Doom. The Doom, he is like the villain on Battleworld. He's the ruler of Battleworld. This is the first time we see him as such. Beautiful Alex Ross cover. So when I saw this, I was like, oh man, I hope I can get this for free. So I took this book and the Avengers book up. I knew I was going to pay $1.50 for the Avengers book, but I was hoping that the person working there, generally when they look for the price, I say, oh yeah, so there's no price on it. And generally I say, usually I get these for free. But the lady was like, well, I can't give it to you for free, but if you, I'll charge you a quarter for it. And so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it all day. So I picked it up for a quarter. She was very, generous, because generally she could have gone anywhere from a quarter to $1, like some of the other clerks there do. But fortunately, I think all in all, I think, dealing with like women clerks are better than dealing with guys, because guys tend to they tend to collect comics, and so they'll have a little bit more comic knowledge, and they'll tend to price value it more. And so I've definitely gotten quoted on a free comic book like this, they priced it more than what it should be. And when I had to pay, I think I ended up paying like $1 or 50 cents for that Jim Lee Indian price variant book, the mini comic. The guy had initially quoted $1, but then I showed him, hey, 25 rupees is actually only 31 cents, and then he went and talked to his manager, and they priced it at 50 cents. So I was like, yeah, I'll still take it for 50. But yeah, this one we were really lucky to get for a quarter. Just love this cover. This cover just is like the stuff of nightmares. That Doom is so amazing looking. So it's sitting, it's basically, I have it in this protective sleeve here with the original Secret Wars book. And this one, again, it's hard to find. It's not necessarily a key book on Key Comic Collector, but this book is gonna be, this entire series is gonna heat up. So go out and get your copies right now while you can, because every comic shop has this sitting in their inventory, maybe multiple copies of these series in their inventory, and it's going to be priced like $3-4. Okay, even the number ones, the number ones might be like $10, but it's not a super expensive book at this point. But as I say that, people know, okay, this is the event book, and so this is going to start to peak and spike. So I was on the lookout for it today, and again, I did have some success in the fact that I picked up, I did pick up this copy here of the Battle World #2. Again, this one is just key because of the Donny Cates first work. So we're able to pick up a few Secret Wars books. The Book of the Hall, that's tough. I think the Book of the Hall has to be. It's between these two. If this were a higher grade copy, I might say this is the Book of the Hall, but given that it isn't, and given how much I love this cover here by Peach, I'm gonna go with the Peach book. It's the book I paid for. It's the book I paid most for. So I gotta give it the mantle of Book of the Hall. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed this another edition of my hauls. I picked up a lot of really just amazing books this year, and if you haven't already, go check out my previous haul books and just enjoy the journey that I've been on. I do take sort of a minimum I try to really focus on the stuff I want in my collection and not paying more premium for it. I am open to adding things that aren't the highest of grades. Like for me, mid to high grade copies are fine. Low grade we try to avoid, but something in this range I'll pick up all day long. And especially if it's like an older, more key book, I'll pick up a low grade any day. Moderns we don't tend to do that, but yeah, for me, books like this, are what I'm looking to add to the collection. So just really happy with this haul. Let me know what you think about this haul, and again, subscribe to my channel, take a look at previous haul videos I've done, and yeah, thanks for being an otaku and follow me on my tour guide comic journey. See you in the next one. Peace out.
OTG has an OCD for comics, gets his books for super cheap, one's for the PC that he will keep. Look out, here comes the OTG. Otaku, listen bud, he's got a Sharingan for comics, Yakugan, Rinnegan, no Mangekyo Sharingan. Hey there goes the OTG. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Otaku, otaku, friendly neighborhood tour guide. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Chimney books are his reward. To him, life is a great big comic hall. Wherever there's a comic wall, he's Jimly's biggest fan.